If you bleed crimson and blue, Wednesday mornings just became required listening. Catch Henry Greenstein from the Lawrence Journal World live every Wednesday morning as the official KU Insider on Sports Daily. From Allen Fieldhouse to the gridiron, Greenstein brings you breaking Jayhawk news, insider analysis, game previews, and direct access to Kansas athletics. Stay ahead of the game with Henry Greenstein every Wednesday morning on Sports Daily, only on Sports Radio KFH.
The KFH studios, powered by Devon James Injury Lawyers. Call 888-8888.
That's 888-8888.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, Wichita, it's Jacob Albrocht. Stay right there for the latest breaking and sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic. It's a construction delay on Southeast Boulevard northbound at 31st Street with a backup to I-35. Give yourself 5 extra minutes there. And there's also road work on Kellogg in both directions between Topeka and Oliver Streets. From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, that's your Odyssey Wichita traffic.
Weather.
Good morning. While we cannot rule out a stray storm as we start the day, most will stay dry. Story today, partly cloudy and hot, high 98. Southeast wind 5 to 15. Scattered clouds and middle 70s tonight. Partly cloudy, 95 on Wednesday with a small chance of a storm during the afternoon. Even cooler on Thursday with a high of 90 and a pretty good chance of storms late Thursday and Thursday night. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
I love the app because it's so easy to use.
The app is fantastic. I can listen to my favorite shows, catch up on news, and discover new music all in one place.
97.5 and 1240 KFH. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Radio.
This is 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, K248CY Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey, Wichita, it's Jacob Albrocht. Stay right there for the latest breaking and sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Brad Evans here to help you beat the books with Westwood One Sports. Like a good neighbors, Malik will be there. Looking spry and spry in Giants camp, the uber-talented receiver is poised to bounce back. Given his large target share, soft hands, and downfield abilities, he crosses a 1,000-yard mark at plus 125. Hashtag Team Huevos. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I am grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
Miami's making sure Mario Cristobal isn't going anywhere. They signed Cristobal to a multi-year extension to keep him as their head coach. While we don't know terms, they're not disclosed because Miami's a private institution. I know it's a great move. Miami has been clinging to the idea of being relevant in college football, and Cristobal is the only one that's got them there over the last 20 years. This is a big win for the Hurricanes of that day.
You gotta download the app.
Gotta get the Odyssey app. 97.5 and 1240 KFH. Listen live on the Odyssey app.
We take 18 ounces of sizzling ground beef and soak it in rich, creamery butter. Then we top it off with bacon, ham, and a fried egg. We call it the Good Morning Burger.
It's a new world out there. People care about their health for some reason. We know times have changed. We at Krusty Burger want to take advantage of that. Introducing
Wichita's most listened to sports radio. 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
It's so good you'll croak. You seem like an impartial observer, but I've been fooled by so many people in costume.
Welcome in, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you here on Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, Brady Bowman in the all-new 8 to 11 live time slot. Glad to be with you here this morning. Glad to be with you as we're getting ready for the fall. Glad to be with you, whether you're listening to us over the air on KFH. If you are, you can call us at 869-1240 now all the way until 11 o'clock. If you're watching us on the video streams, you can leave us a comment that we can take right over the air. Facebook, YouTube, and X. Thanks for watching us on 12 News Connected as well. You can email the show at sportsdaily@kfhradio.com. You can listen on the Odyssey app anytime. And if you are, you can leave us a voice message by just clicking the little microphone button. It's all available for you, and we're glad to be here with you. Today on the show, we're going to introduce our new KU Insider here in just a few minutes. If all goes well from KU football camp, which opens up today. Practice begins this morning. We're going to try and sneak in Henry Greenstein of the Lawrence Journal-World to come in and chat with us a little bit about what's going on, not just with KU football, which opens today, but also with all these rule changes. What is the basketball program doing? Are they trying to add any of these players back? So we'll get Henry in and introduce him. And then we'll also have Jaylon Thompson, our Royals insider, in to discuss the takeaways from Royals and the trade deadline yesterday. We've got thoughts. We'll see what Jaylon thinks. That's all coming up throughout the show today. Plus your calls, commentary. We do have the latest on everything that happened yesterday with the Protect College Sports Act bill. We have some Chiefs camp talk, all kinds of good stuff for you. It's all what's on tap today, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company. Your summer spot. Beats and apps the whole group will love. Seasonal beers, a full cocktail menu for the adults, and new dirty sodas and homemade root beer that keep the kids happy. WB, see you this summer at the Wichita Brewing Company. How are you this morning, Brady?
Oh, wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready to go. Homemade root beer, that's always a win.
You a root beer guy?
Oh, man. Like,
I don't.
Like Winfield used to have this shop, this sandwich shop that had some root beer like that, like in the glass, the tall chilled glass and all that. Good memories.
I'm not a root beer guy. I'm not. I know it's popular, but yeah, like the kids would have at all the kids' birthday parties and stuff growing up, and there'd be root beer, and I would think it was like, a Coke or something, and I'd just always be wildly disappointed. Never been a root beer. And now it's like, it doesn't have caffeine in it. No thanks. I need the caffeine if I'm going to the road of a soda. I need the caffeine. Sprite or 7-Up or whatever. It's my all-time favorite. It never has any caffeine. I don't ever drink it anymore.
Yeah, that's true. People forget that.
We digress. People forget that. Some people talk about that. Yeah. We have the Royals trade deadline pass. We'll get to Jaylon Thompson in a little bit. Brady, I don't know what to do anymore. What
can we do, Jacob?
What are we doing here? Why?
I mean, I saw a little bit of a move that I was just doing a little research on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Involving Bubic.
Yeah, they trade Chris Bubic. They trade Chris Bubic. They trade a reliever or a minor league pitcher you've never heard of. They trade Lane Thomas. They trade Bailey Falter. They do not trade John Schreiber. They do not trade any of the starters, Waka, Lugo. No, I just don't understand it. Waka and Lugo, I'm done. Not much this year, Brady. I mean, Waka's an all-star. He's great. But, like, as far as in terms of how many, games the Royals have won this year, I mean, come on now. Sam McDowell put this out in a story for the Kansas City Star last night. The Royals are 22-44 in the games that Michael Waka, Seth Lugo, or Noah Cameron started this year. That's the top 3 guys in your rotation next year. They're 22-44 in their starts this year. Now, what does that tell us? What does that tell us? It doesn't tell us that Waka and Lugo aren't any good. It tells us that it doesn't matter. They need more than that. Rick off the top rope right off the top of the show. Orioles traded the face of their franchise, Adley Rutschman. And Kansas City can't trade a pair of 36 and 37-year-old pitchers because they're looking to next year. We have done this before. 2016, the Royals opted to keep it together when they should have torn it down, and it cost fan base and the franchise 5 years of the worst baseball it's ever seen. We've done this before. We did it, Brady, last year with Seth Lugo.
And we're doing it again.
We're not learning from our mistakes. I was on the fence with Lugo last year. It's like, man, he's so good and they're going to need him. They're close. Can they get back in it? It's fine. But at the same time, if he's got that much value on the market, you got to at least entertain it. And they didn't. And they gave him an extension. And okay, great. Now, I don't even know how much baseball we're going to play next year, which makes this maybe even a little sillier because these guys are older pitchers. But what are we doing here? Like, why on earth did the Royals not trade John Schreiber? Why? Why did you not trade Starling Marte? I mean, Schreiber's not been that good this year, but you got to get something. They add in the moves that they do make. The last one, the big one we were waiting for, right? They traded away Manuel Colon. Never heard of him. For Nolan Hoffman, a guy from the Phillies. I believe that they just DFA'd. So they add 4 minor league arms, and we'll see how many. I mean, it was clear what their goal was, right? To add pitching, and we sort of assumed that. Had 3 righties and a lefty, 2 Carloses, and we'll see. We'll see if that helps them next year. Boy, they better hope like hell that everything we've seen this year and last year is a fluke, right? Because we're going to do it again, I guess, next year.
It's like you hope that they know something we don't know.
It wasn't good enough last year. It was even worse this year. So why not try it a third time? That makes some sense. Goodness.
Like we talked about yesterday, I don't know. It just seems to me that there's just a stubbornness with the clubhouse and organization right now to try and, I guess, prove us all the naysayers wrong. It just feels like there's
and the manager. I mean, it does. It trickles down. You want to talk about stubbornness? Remember half the season it felt like before Jack Caglione hit against left-handed pitching.
And then he ended up doing pretty decent against left-handed pitching. So
he was fine.
Like, yeah, he's fine.
They were losing every game, and you're worried about the splits of your, future potential corner franchise player. Oh, my goodness gracious, Brady. It's a tough day.
I'm looking at the stats of this Carlos Duran. I hope I'm getting the right Duran. 6'7", 230 pounds.
The big
He's
boy.
a presence. That's a big guy right
Look,
there.
I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm not going to evaluate the returns they got on anything because I don't know any of these players. I'm not watching, the Dodgers AAA team very often. So
Oklahoma City, apparently.
They are. But I'm not, other than the dog incident earlier this season, I haven't consumed any Dodgers AAA Oklahoma City baseball. Their return might be fine. That doesn't change the fact that they did not trade enough away. We'll talk to Jaylon Thompson about that next hour. Henry Greenstein hops in. Next segment, let's talk some KU. What's going on with the basketball program and any potential roster additions? And it's the start of football today. We'll have that next on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-1 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily on KFH. And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
All right, and welcome back in, and welcome in to our new KU Insider. Henry Greenstein covers KU for the Lawrence Journal World at KUSports.com. Henry, welcome in. Welcome aboard here, the Sports Daily train.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. You'll see I have a little bit of a jerry-rigged setup here. I'm in my car directly outside the Anderson football complex. I'm operating off my phone's Wi-Fi hotspot, but it's a great day to be on Sports Daily, and thank you guys for having me.
Welcome into the family. I hope you'll enjoy it. We'll have a lot of fun here, and we'll talk about serious things if we need to. You're obviously at football camp. That starts today. We can talk about that in a little bit. I want to start with hoops, though. We get the court rulings coming down. We get the ruling out of Colorado. Now that's separate. Melvin Council and a different court ruling trying to get some eligibility. We learned that in theory, Trey White could be eligible. Jaden Dawson could be eligible. First things first, does KU have room for anybody else? And have you heard, or do you know, do they have interest in bringing any of these guys back?
Well, I mean, at the simplest possible standpoint, like from a roster perspective, they do have 2 spots remaining because they've got 13 scholarship guys on the roster, and Will Thangvall's exempt from roster limits as a walk-on under the designated student athlete rule from last year. So in the simplest possible terms, yes, they do have space to add. We've heard them connected to all sorts of prospects, in the late stages of the offseason before this ruling came out. You'll probably remember the whole Mihailo Mushikic thing, the Serbian 7-footer they were connected with. My source told me at the time nothing was done at all when that commitment came out. So I would say probably not super far along with that one. And there was a great article from CJ Moore in The Athletic the other day about just how hard it's become to bring international prospects over and how long and labor intensive the process of securing eligibility has become. So I wouldn't necessarily get your hopes up on that one. Obviously, we know counsel is at least a viable option. I'll be very interested to see what happens in the courts. I haven't checked yet this morning, but there hadn't been anything filed in the past week prior to that. I think the last filing before that was a summons on the 27th. I'm not sure how I feel about counsel's odds of getting that injunction. When you look at how few athletes have actually been able to get judges to overturn the junior college rule beyond the 1-year waiver that prospects were allowed to have the extra year for last season. And if you look at the most comparable case, which is that of Clemson receiver Tristan Smith in South Carolina court, it took him 4.5 months to get an injunction. So counsel in his lawsuit kind of expressed the sense of urgency at hand, and we'll see how sympathetic Douglas County Court is to that particular situation. But it's one to keep an eye on. But again, I think kind of like a sub 50% chance of happening. And then now with the new ruling that you mentioned, which Judge Charlotte Sweeney has hastened to clarify with additional documentation in the last couple of days after the NCAA tried to challenge how broad the scope of her injunction was. We'll see what happens with that, because it comes out and it basically says, all right, every single person who was in the high school class of 2022 and played 4 straight years now has a 5th. Then there was some backpedaling Okay, now maybe they can't change teams if they weren't already in the portal. Okay, now maybe they do count toward roster limits and cap limits, whereas it was initially implied they might not have. So all that is to say, I think there's a lot of still figuring out going on with regard to this. That being said, I have no doubt that KU has reached out to players who were in the transfer portal. And there were some lawsuits specifically, besides that Colorado one, where the terms of the injunction have said, okay, now these players can enter the portal if they haven't already. So if nothing else, there's like about 30 players for whom I would be shocked if someone from KU hadn't at least reached out to gauge their interest. But it's going to be tough from a monetary standpoint for KU to have a lot left over to get those kinds of guys.
Mercy, Henry, this is always a lot to try and navigate for us, for writers. I mean, anybody paying attention. Bill Self's 63 years old now, and there's all those rumors. Well, not rumors, but just the question of, which has been about, I feel like every offseason, the last 2 or 3 off seasons, like, is he coming back? Those sort of things. Is he still, what's his longevity? A lot of coaches have been very vocal about dealing with everything that you just talked about, and NIL and all those sort of things. And now we got the Colorado ruling, and we're still trying to figure out what this college sports bill is going to do. How is Bill Self at 63? He has not been too vocal
correct
about a lot of these things and navigating these things like a lot of other coaches have. What does that say to you? Does that just how is Self kind of navigating all this as far as what you've heard? Like I said, he's not been very public about all of it, but I'm sure it's just as stressful for him as it is for us.
Yeah, he does a good job of projecting confidence in this particular realm. And, Self's someone who's always been kind of a master of I don't know if manipulating is the right word, but getting his message out there to the media. And when he talks about the new era of college sports, which is such a trite expression at this point because we've been through like 5 new eras in the last 5 years. But when he talks about the new era of college sports, he always says, well, whose business hasn't undergone a period of intense change? If you're a truck driver, you've had periods where things seem unstable. So that's his go-to line on it. Now, I don't know if truck drivers are constantly dealing with like Friday night injunctions that upend the entire nature of their business. But I think Self's, like I said, he projects confidence about it. I'm sure it's incredibly chaotic to keep track of. I think it'll help with roster management for all of KU's programs that they just hired an executive director of front office strategy and operations, Sam Strantz from the Houston Rockets. That was reported by ESPN on Friday. That's a position they've been trying to get in for a while. Everyone wants KU basketball to get a GM in the KU world, and this is not exactly that, but it's someone who will oversee the sort of salary cap element and work with especially football, men's basketball, and women's basketball on that. So that'll be significant in that realm. It's really tough to tell. I think my opinion sways wildly from kind of 1 week or month and next about how much longer Self has. He said he's doing well health-wise. He had a knee replacement over the summer that has been more annoying to come back from than he anticipated. But in terms of the grind of keeping up with this portal stuff, he doesn't seem all that bothered by it. Like the most I've heard him express is mild frustration at just the lack of consistency sometimes. But at least in terms of what he displays to the public, he's not the type to say that they're ruining college sports or whatever. He tries to take a more sanguine approach in terms of how he contextualizes these changes.
He's quite honestly, in my opinion, Henry Greenstein, KU Insider, joining us here on Sports Daily. He's kind of thrived in it. Now, it hasn't worked, right, as far as in terms of like the things have been successful on the court, but there have been few times. In fact, this year might be the first time we haven't come into a season and thought, oh, man, look at everything KU did. They dominated when they went and got Hunter Dickinson and Kevin McCullough. They were getting star transfers before getting star transfers was cool. So it hasn't always worked out, but he's been good at getting the players he wants to get. So that doesn't surprise me. What do you make of this college bill? You cover this sport. You cover college sports all the time. We all do. Senator Ted Cruz said last night, I believe, that this bill will get through, and he thinks it will get passed, and the vote will come through. He's one of the authors of this bill. Is this going to be good enough to appease at least the fans? I've said forever, if they can just fix the transfer portal, deep down, I don't know how much we care about any of the other stuff as fans, as far as what we're watching and what bothers us truly. Does it bother us that players make money, or does it bother us that players leave our schools? So do you think this is enough with the 5-5 if they can get this through to kind of fix this chaos of the last 5 years?
I think that's an astute point. I think that you're right. People wouldn't be as bothered by the big money nature of college athletics. College athletics always been big money, just going to different people now. People wouldn't be as bothered by that if the transfer regulations suggested by the Protect College Sports Act are in place. At this point, I think it's pretty clear that the laissez-faire approach of just NCAA trying to make its own rules and having them get constantly challenged in court every 5 seconds has not succeeded. So legislative intervention is probably welcome. I'll be interested to see how it goes. There are some things I have questions about. The retention pool stuff, I don't think that's going to actually be all that helpful for many schools in terms of retention, because not all of them just have readily available access to that amount of money. I mean, it was hard enough for KU to get $20 million for revenue sharing. So the idea that they're going to now need to have a separate set of things for keeping their own players doesn't seem all that reasonable. But, in terms of the provisions of the act, my attitude is might as well give it a try. I still think we're going to have some collective bargaining with athletes at some point down the line.
I don't think this prevents that, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, that's why I think they think it'll pass for the people on that side of the aisle. Nothing in there says they can't do that.
No, absolutely. And I think that people have been hesitant to kind of go the full athletes or employees route, but they're getting salaries. Like, at this point, that's the way things are headed. But I think that just adding, there are flaws with it, but I think the transfer stuff and the 5-5 stuff is a really good start toward a couple years down the line, when things even out, starting to have a greater sense of regularity to what's happening and not having to wake up to some sort of earth-shattering revelation that turns the college sports world on its head every 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's. I'm just reading up on it where CBS Sports has something that Senator Cruz is, again, doubling down, very confident that something will pass this week, and that the president could even sign something during the college football season. Henry, when it comes to late last week, it felt like it was kind of dead, that nothing was kind of going on. What do you think happened to sway the Big Ten and SEC to be like, okay, let's go ahead, let's get this together across the finish line?
Well, I'm not the first to say this, but I think that the ruling by Judge Sweeney in Denver absolutely hastened it. I mean, it's just a few hours after that the SEC and Big Ten came out with their changes of heart. I think that was a sign that, like, okay, things are going to get really crazy if we don't band together behind something soon. So props to them, I guess, for being open-minded and recognizing the potential impact that ruling could have. I'm not totally sure that the concerns that ruling has created will be 100% entirely addressed by the bill, especially depending on how quickly it gets through and if it gets signed. But I do think that particular situation really had a lot to do with it, because you think about it, like, what other cause could have hastened that kind of late night announcement?
I said the same thing, Henry, other than the president also applied some pressure. Those are the two things I think that changed public pressure from the president and that ruling. I'm with you. It had to be something.
There was some article suggesting he was planning to, publicly call out leaders of the Big Ten and SEC.
For sure.
He doesn't hesitate to publicly call out, so that absolutely could have played a role as well.
We'll see. I'm telling you, though, give us the transfer portal, and the Big Ten and SEC can argue about how much money they get. That can happen. Nobody cares. Like, do that. We've been doing that forever. I'm with you. All right, we got to talk football. That's where you are right now.
Yeah.
We're walking into camp. You've seen the team. This isn't the first time you've seen the team. I honestly, I'll be honest, Henry, I have no idea what to even look for. I mean, obviously we want to know who the starting quarterback is. I don't know how much of a difference I think who the starting quarterback is. So where do things stand right now with the program? Like, what's the path to a bowl game? Is that even in the possibility of outcomes out there? It's just like, it's a total unknown.
Yeah, I think it is. On the other hand, I also think there's a possibility that even if this team, what I keep telling people is this team is more talented at almost every position group than it was last year. The problem is it is going to be less talented at the single most important one. And with that in mind, it's really hard to develop kind of a concrete sense of where they're headed, as you observed. And I think there is a chance that a team could be better and as a result of its schedule end up with the same record, because their schedule, there's no way around it. It's really, really bad. When they agreed to do the Union Jack Classic in London with Arizona State, that was a calculated move, thinking, okay, well, we're going to have reduced capacity on the east side of the stadium. And we're going to have 6 other home games regardless. If there were ever a year to give up a home game to go to London, it would be this one. Well, they didn't account for the fact that in doing so, and in displacing the Middle Tennessee game they had on the same day, they wouldn't be able to get that game moved to week 0, and instead it would have to be moved to a random point in the middle of the season, such that after the London game, they have a bye week and then they play 9 consecutive games to end the year. That is not how they intended for it to shake out. And I think that's just an extremely challenging hand they've been dealt. Of course, that makes it sound like it was entirely out of their control, which it wasn't. But that could be really, really problematic, just the wear and tear they'll accumulate over the course of that stretch. But in terms of the actual on-field product, if you're going to be the optimistic KU fan, as many of them are, you can point to, this is the best group of running backs we've had, which is crazy to say considering 2 years ago they had their all-time leading rusher. But there's a lot of reason to think that the thunder and lightning duo of Yasin Willis and Dylan Edwards provides a contrast they've never had before. When they've had multiple running backs, they've had very similar rushing styles. So there's reason to say that could be good. There's reason to think the secondary, which was really, really bad at times last year, cannot possibly be worse. And in a second year under DK McDonald's system, they'll have more confidence, another year of experience, another year of building up their bodies, and added a lot of transfers at cornerback and safety from high caliber programs. There's reason to believe players on the defensive line like Leroy Harris and Blake Harold could be breakout stars this year. I happen to think they could both be all conference by the end of the season. And then if you're the pessimistic KU fan, which I also encounter a lot of in my everyday life and online, you say we don't have a quarterback, and it looks like we're going to start a former walk-on who has one career start in which he threw 2 interceptions 3 years ago. And the offensive line is shakier than it has been in recent years. We already lost a linebacker to ineligibility. The defensive tackles already have injury issues. There's such a wide range of perspectives you can possibly have on this year's team.
Baker Mayfield was a former walk-on, right?
That's true.
Very true. I think Cole Ballard is better than people think because they haven't seen him in length for 3 years. But I also understand people who are like, it would be so much more exciting to have Isaiah Marshall as the quarterback.
Who do you think? I think it'll be both, don't you?
Well, Leipold said he doesn't want to have a full-time 2-quarterback system because he thinks it's important for someone to be able to get a rhythm. Now, he has said both will play, which to me seems a little bit at odds with that first statement. Yeah. But I would give Ballard a slight edge. I do think both will play. I think Chase Jenkins will play too. It's Andy Kotelnicki. Okay. All things are possible. But I would give Ballard a slight edge as of August 4th. We got a lot of camp to go, though.
Of course,
Henry,
it was that.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jacob.
I was just going to. We have about 30 seconds or a minute, Brady. One more quick one.
Oh no, I think Henry kind of nailed some things as far as the talent level. I mean, we know how talented Jalen Daniels was, but that didn't seem to matter too much. But
he was so talented, they won 4 or 5 games every year. I think.
But if there's better talent, that'll help Cole Ballard.
Fans have to remember that too. Henry, we appreciate it. Thanks for squeezing us in. Henry will normally visit us on Wednesdays, but we'll bounce around while there's camp and crazy things. Follow him on X at Henry Greenstein. You can follow him at the Lawrence Journal World, KU Sports. Henry, nice job. Nice debut. We'll talk again next week.
Thanks for having me.
There goes Henry Greenstein, our new KU Insider. We're coming back on Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-1 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
welcome back in, everybody. Glad to be here with you. Thanks to Crestview Country Club for being a great supporter of the program. Get out there, check out the facilities, just take a tour. Go see the 36 holes. Of course, the north side, the famous side for hosting the Wichita Open every year, all the memorable holes. I'll tell you that the back nine of the south side is my favorite 9 holes on that course. I think it's beautiful out there. But it's all great, and it's all in great shape, great condition. They've done a wonderful job the last few years of really getting that thing in pristine condition. So if you're a golfer or if you just want a great place to take the family, give Crestview a call. Tell them we sent you here from Sports Daily. Welcome back into Sports Daily. Thanks to Henry Greenstein. Nice debut there, Brady. I have not mentioned, so don't let me forget. We've got to let Henry know about Hawaiian Shirt Wednesdays. When he's making his regular visits. We never could get Shreyas on board with that, but we'll see if Henry's got a few in the rotation he could break out for us. But it'll be a little different here for a couple of weeks while we get through the timing of KU football camp. So appreciate Henry pivoting for us. Jaylon Thompson joins next hour to talk Royals trade deadline. Royals fans, you can get them teed up for Jaylon. We will dig in deep to the happenings or non-happenings of this year's trade deadline. That's coming up next hour. Let's go to Brady, the news of what we kind of got into with Henry a little bit. So yesterday on the Protect College Sports Act, there were a lot of different things and a lot of sort of different opinions from people that follow along on this, that this could get done or not. I think generally speaking now, most people feel like it's going to pass. I haven't seen, that's the interesting thing about this. What we're hearing about now is more the timing and can they get to cloture? Everybody pull back out the political science textbooks. That's the process apparently of getting this to a vote. And they have to do that before the end of the week. That is what Ted Cruz said to CBS Sports late last night that he thinks will happen. We know the president wants it to happen. John Thune is the person, that senator who is the Senate Majority Leader, who has to make it happen. He has not outright committed to it that I've seen, but his colleagues think it will happen. But the one thing, Brady, we are not hearing ever is that anybody thinks it's not going to pass. It seems like that is now a foregone conclusion, right? Is that how you're reading into this too?
Yeah, for sure. Looking at the latest article from CBS Sports that I referenced earlier, where Cruz says that, the bill now includes 27 athletic conferences. This is all a coalition of support, 360 colleges and universities, the NCAA, NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, NHL, players associations for both the NFL and NBA, and the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic committees. So yeah, the support is to say the least broad.
It's there, right?
Yeah,
like
there's no question on support.
The support has always been there for the most part, from what I've seen. Other than the SEC and the Big Ten, there are provisions in there that they didn't like, mostly because they feel like they probably could have squeezed more out of this to be more advantageous. I don't ever take for granted that the SEC and the Big Ten know they are the most valuable leagues and want to do everything in their power to make sure that they remain that way and take advantage of the fact that they are. And I don't mean take advantage in a negative way, because the reality is they are the two most powerful leagues. But they want their advantages to stay that way. And so they had pushback. And then here we go again. And here we go with the same problems we've always had, right? This has been the issue. Why we can't ever get anything done is because why does it take so long on, playoff expansion? And we have to go back and forth because this league wants more than this league. Well, whether it was the president's public pressure or the Colorado court ruling that already challenges the last rule they tried to put in place without legislation, now all of a sudden they're like, okay, fine. Well, we like it, right? Like, okay, fine. Like, we'll do it. And that's the thing, like, just get us to the point where we can fix the easy stuff. There is about universal agreement among every coach, administrator, school, fan, everybody that I've heard, except maybe players' agents and to some case players, that the transfer portal is killing us. It's killing college sports. This fixes that. And I'm telling you, Brady, like, we are not going to sit here and spend as much time wondering about the retention pool as we do, will this player stay? Will this player go? Who can our team go get out of the portal? Why can't we keep any of the same players? Why do we have new rosters every year? Like, that's the part that has gotten out of control. That's why spending has gotten out of control. If you can fix that, a lot of this other stuff won't be a problem. Brendan Sorsby's not how much did he make? You remember? Was it 5, 6 million, 9 million, whatever it was?
Something like that, yeah.
He's not making that much in the new rules because he's already transferred once from Indiana to Cincinnati. Is he going to sit out a year? No, not if he's got a 5-5 rule in place. So, those types of things will mostly take care of themselves, and we'll see the advantage. I can't think of a size school. Like, who does that disadvantage? Really only the schools who have done it like Texas Tech has done it the last 2 years, right? Where it's like, okay, well, we got a big donor who will go get all the players. That's fine. I'm not faulting any school that's done this because it's been basically within the rules. I mean, there's a jealousy component in play. Like, we all wish our schools had something like that. But now that kind of stuff kind of goes away. You better recruit better high school players, right? You better take care of the players you've got, but you better get better younger and keep those players in your program. And I think we're getting close. That's pretty loud language there from Ted Cruz saying this is going to pass. This is going to get through, and it's going to have the support. I assume they think it does in the House too. I don't know how much has changed. There is there are the provision. Ross Dellinger tries to point this out for Yahoo, and I really don't. I mean, there's not a lot of it that I understand on this redirecting the multimedia rights money, the sponsorship, the apparel money to the roster. It, in theory, he says, closes the loophole. So, like, you're the SEC and you have a great multimedia rights deal. You can't then take all that money and put it to roster allocation. And I'm interested by that. I don't know why.
That was my thought too. Why?
Yeah, why wouldn't those bigger leagues want to be able to do that, other than they may get the provisions now where the school keeps the money and it doesn't go to the players? But I'm going to guess that they're still hitting their cap in the biggest league. So that one I have a little trouble understanding. We can spend some time with it. But again, to the original point, Brady, okay, I don't care that much. Fix the transfer thing.
Right. Yeah. I just want to go out of a season into the off season thinking like, well, we got these guys back. And, like, the last few years, it's just been, you have no idea what the roster is going to be from year to year. There's more stability in like pro teams as far as who's there year after year. College, you never know, especially on the basketball front. You never know who that 5 is going to be from year to year. And it doesn't matter there. I mean, Jacob, you remember covering sports, early in our careers. Remember, like, the biggest thing that you had to make sure of was like, oh, no, red shirt. He was a red shirt. And that was about the biggest thing you had to just kind of take, follow and keep on top of. Now it's like, oh, I wish that was the easiest thing to keep track of. Now it's just like, it's just a total, you just don't know. Things change from day to day, week to week. I think that's what everybody wants right now. Just some form of stability when it comes to following these teams, especially from the fan perspective.
Couple other provisions that have come out in the new language. So $22.5 million retention pool, $5 additional million for Olympic and women's sports, brings it to about the annual cap to, I guess, $48.8 million. Dellinger reports that most in the industry think there's somewhere between 15 and 30 schools that are currently spending at that level. Power leagues capped to 19 schools. Power conference programs moving to another power conference program, poaching, right? must operate independently for 5 years. So, that's a big one for places worried that, that's kind of sounds like an ACC provision to me. Like, if you're North Carolina and you really want to go to the SEC or the Big Ten, you're going to have to operate 5 years as an independent in order to do that. That's probably not going to happen. So that's interesting. Mid-season football coaching moves prohibited, Dellinger says. The Lane Kiffin rule. So a season-long suspension the following year if a coach leaves his team before the season's over. That's fantastic. I love that. If we're going to punish players for transferring, we must punish coaches for transferring, basically.
Sure.
I love that in there.
Good rule.
There's another one in there that's sort of interesting, I think, as we get into it. And I hadn't heard a lot about this one, but I remember it vaguely. The national championship game for college football played no later than January 8th. And this also protects when the Army-Navy game is, but January 8th. So I looked this up during the break. And, before the last 2 years, that's around when the national championship game has been played, right? It's that basically window of time until 2024 and 25, when they played the game on January 20th, 2 weeks later, and January 19th, essentially the same thing. They are right now scheduled to be played on January 25th, 24th, 22nd, and 21st, the next 4 years of the national championship game. So I don't know if this alters that. I hope it does, because waiting as long as we wait to get there is a really, really stupid thing for college football to do. We lose interest by that point. Like, we are on to the NFL by the time we play the national championship game. So I'd make it even earlier. I hoped they would have it be around New Year's Day, but this is progress there, and I think it'll help. So that's a good one that we haven't talked a lot about. That's one of my big issues with college football is, good Lord, why does it take us so long to get to the championship game?
Yeah, especially that late in January. I mean, you're about 10 days or so, 2 weeks from the Super Bowl. I mean, we're all locked in. That's where our attention is. And I remember just I missed the New Year's Eve days, when it was like on New Year's Day or right around that time.
We're looking at the college football playoff. We went, so the first round, let me just look up SEC championship game here and see what date that was. The SEC championship game last year was played on what was our date here? Shoot. Either way. So you play your conference championship game, and then you go back through the first round of the playoffs. I can tell you started on December 19th. We didn't get to a championship game till January 19th. So you played 10 days between the quarterfinals and the first round, and then a week to get to the semifinals, and then 10 more days to get to the championship.
Too much.
Now we're about to add more rounds into this. We've got to figure out how to just play every week. It's not hard. You just
December 6th.
Just that's like every other league everywhere. You in the regular season, you start the postseason right away, and you play every team. Play through. All right. We'll see if it passes. We'll get you any of the latest, see if it hits cloture before we leave the air. A lot of Royals talk next hour. Stick with us on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83-1001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
This is Kent Brockman with a special report from the Channel 6 News Copter. A large bear-like animal, most likely a bear, has wandered down from the hills in search of food or perhaps employment. Please remain calm. Stay in your home.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
It's all too clear that some things in this universe aren't meant to be trifled with.
That's right. Like disrupting the wonderful rotation of the Kansas City Royals. You can't trifle with that. Welcome back in. We'll have some headlines I missed here in just a second. We'll see how Brady's getting ready for day 2 of that fun segment. We are rocking and rolling. The new time slot here for Sports Daily, 8 to 11 live every morning. We think you'll love it. We think the calls will be beneficial for it. If you listen to the show later when we were on the rebroadcast prior, now it is live. Now you can be a part of the program. 869-1240 is the number to call. You can also email the show at sportsdaily@kfhradio.com. As always, your video comments are welcome via Facebook, YouTube, or X. Thanks for joining us on 12 News Connected. Thanks for joining us on the Odyssey app as well. You can hit the Odyssey app. There's a little microphone in there. If you'd like to leave us a voice message, you can do that right there on the air, and we can play it. Max gets those voice messages, and we're glad to have it. Everything we're talking about today is What's on Tap, brought to you by Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring America's Day American Pale Ale. Now, I'm told This is only for a limited time. For 250 years, Americans have brewed beer, and in 2026, WBC's America's Day Pale Ale carries the flag as we toast the red, white, and blue taste of freedom, reminding us that it's America's Day every day at WBC. Of course, we just celebrated America's 250th birthday. We've got Jaylon Thompson coming up next segment. He's going to be ready to talk some Kansas City Royals. We'll get to everything Royals, trade deadline, probably a little venting for most people, as they were not very active, quite frankly, at the trade deadline. But listen, when you're as good as they are this year, it makes sense, right? Let's run it back again. Maybe my opinion is bleeding through a bit there. But before we do any of that, this is the segment where we find out the headlines I missed. Let's go.
Do it.
All right, Sports Daily fans, let's take you to the sports headlines Jacob probably didn't see.
All right, Jacob, here we go. I guess we can still, this is still kind of a sports thing. This is still an athletic thing. Archery is a sport. A circus performer accidentally shot in the neck with an arrow at a New York County fair. Yeah. A husband and wife team.
Right?
What's
Stifler?
that?
Stifler and Old School?
Oh.
I know I'm crossing movies there. Dude, you could dart to the neck.
What? Oh, I love that scene so much. Yeah, it happened at a Friday night, the Orange County Fair, Middletown. This is northeast or northwest of New York City. Let's see. The married couple from Wisconsin, performing their crossbow sharpshooting act when she accidentally struck him in the neck with an arrow as he held up a foam target.
Okay, so wife shoots husband?
Yes.
We might need an investigation on that.
The good news says luckily struck on the side of his neck in a spot which mostly soft tissue, no major blood vessels. There was not even any blood leaking out.
When your sharpshooter wife can put one in the side of the neck in a safe place, you probably said something you shouldn't have.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, definitely an I wasn't dotted, a T wasn't crossed somewhere.
All right.
Ooh. Let's see what else we got. Oh, here's one on the NFL side of things. Falcons running back John Robinson, now the highest paid running back in NFL history. Just signed an extension, 3-year extension worth up to $75 million.
Bijan got one. When I did miss this sports headline.
$51 million guaranteed.
Woo. For a running back. I know Jahmyr Gibbs also wants one.
Right. Let's see. So with the new deal, Robinson will now make $22.25 million per year. That surpasses Saquon Barkley with the Eagles. He's at 20.6. And let's see. Yeah, and that's true. This article does say, and that could change though, because Jahmyr Gibbs is holding out. He's looking for a contract extension. So maybe this could be a short-lived highest paid running back in the league.
Well, that's you're the Lions. You got to know, like, whoever wins that race probably saves a little money, right? Those are the two guys, Robinson and Gibbs. If Robinson gets there first, then if you're the Lions, it means Gibbs probably going to cost you a little more.
Right, which means like, we probably should have got to Gibbs a little sooner.
You have to get to the point in the negotiation where you say, well, we'll give you what Robinson got. Like, you got to be a little more proactive than that if you're the Lions. Come on now.
How about the Falcons spending some money? Because remember, they also re-signed Drake London, 4 years, $141 million. And Kyle Pitts, he's at a $54 million deal now.
Yep,
so left guard.
We'll see how they do with Cooper Rush.
All right. Yeah, that's the thing. That's a big question for them, right? Cooper Rush, Tua, I guess, is hurt again.
Tua both, nicked up. They had to bring in Cooper Rush. The Falcons they got Kevin Stefanski there now. As we'll take some division. We'll just pick a division in the last hour of the show today to look at. Maybe we start there. Why don't we just start with the NFC South when we get there with the news of Bijan Robinson? They're interesting with Stefanski. If they can get some quarterback play, they got some dudes now.
They do. They really do.
It was a good pick, I think, for Stefanski to go there. But that's a guy that's already been plagued by quarterback issues in his career. I think he has some good options if any of them are healthy. But Anywho.
Although, should we give Stefanski a little bit of a break, though? He had to deal with the Browns organization. We know that's quarterback death.
I get it.
They
but
got
he was
rid of
part
Baker
of the reason
when
they
Baker
let Baker Mayfield walk, I think, wasn't he?
Is that like we talk about Deshaun Watson all the time, like, how bad of a deal and trade that was, but the way they let Baker go, that's still a big head scratcher to me. I mean, he took the Browns to the AFC Championship game.
He was hurt. If Deshaun Watson didn't have the weird off the field stuff, I think most people would have been a little more supportive. There are two things I cannot envision being surpassed anytime soon. As far as bad contracts, Deshaun Watson. I don't know that that'll ever be topped with all the guaranteed money that was just thrown in for absolutely no reason. And the Luka Doncic trade from the Mavericks. I don't know that we're ever going to get things that are worse than those two things. But anywho, took you down a rabbit hole. We will preview. We'll start with the NFC South. Speaking of Baker Mayfield, speaking of the Atlanta Falcons in the third hour. All right. Any other headlines, Brady?
That's what I got for this morning.
Okay. I missed the Bijan. That's interesting.
You heard about the circus thing?
No, but that wasn't a sports story. I appreciate that circus story, even though it's a little frightening to think about. We need to watch our mouths more often. Right in the neck?
Right in the neck, right through. The arrow went through and it was clean. Yeah, it was clean. It wasn't even like a gory sort, like a lot of blood or anything like that.
Did it stick or did it make like a clean entrance and exit?
Yeah. Apparently it was clean. Like I think it stayed in for a little bit, and he had to get it taken out.
What do you do? Like, what do you say? You're sitting there with a crossbow. They're called bolts, right? With a bolt sticking out of your neck. Your wife just shot you in the neck?
The crossbow lingo. Wow.
I didn't know that. They're bolts, right? They're bolts.
I have no idea.
I'm confident there. The listeners can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm confident.
It sounds like something. Bolts. Do you ever watch any AGT?
America's Got Talent?
America's Got Talent, yeah.
I've seen clips, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes when they have those type of acts on, like, that's what you're always worried about watching, is something like that happening.
Shoot the apple, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, those terrify us because what if they miss? Now, they never do. Apparently, they do sometimes at the circus in upstate New York. Is that right?
Right.
That's what I like. That's why that trick works, is because what if they miss? Well, there you go. They did. Now, thankfully, this gentleman is okay. I say gentleman. I don't know him. I will give him the benefit of the doubt, but that's brutal, man. A crossbow bolt to the neck from your wife, who's a trained sharpshooter. I'm suspicious.
What was that conversation like that night?
Hey, honey, sorry I shot you in the neck. And if you were a woman planning to shoot her husband in the neck, like if you feel like he really deserved it, what a better way to pull it off. Like, how long have you been planning that? Yeah, I think, you know what I think we should do? Why don't we become a circus act that fires crossbow darts at each other, at each other. And, we can make a good living that way. That feels like the start of but in 3 years, I'm going to fire one through the neck. And
right, like some documentary on like everything goes wrong. And
you remember that backhanded comment you made back in 2021? This was revenge.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm the husband and she's like really apologetic about it like that, I think the response is like, no, you're fine.
It's okay,
perfectly
sweetie.
Fine. Oh no, honestly, it's a good shot. I think I moved a little bit.
Didn't even
that was
hurt
my
that
fault.
Bad. It's my fault.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, you're not going to give her too much trouble about it.
Yeah, well, you did just take a crossbow bolt to the
right,
neck.
Exactly. Exactly. Tread lightly.
That's rough. All right. We're going to talk Kansas City Royals when we come back. We have Jaylon Thompson in. He's making a bonus appearance for us. We appreciate that. As the Royals, they gave us plenty to talk about with the trade deadline, but probably not in the way a lot of fans had hoped. So we will discuss it as they make minor moves, we'll call it, across the trade deadline. Nothing major for one of the worst teams in baseball. Never more apropos to sell, but they didn't sell very much. We'll get Jaylon Thompson's take on it. He's been saying this was going to happen for weeks. It's hard to see it actually there now. We're coming back with the Sports Daily.
If you blink.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-1 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH. And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you on KFH. We've got Jaylon Thompson in now, our Royals insider. A bonus appearance from Jaylon this week. Jaylon, we appreciate it. You can follow along at the KC Star. Oh, boy, Jaylon, your colleague Sam McDowell pointed it out really well, I thought, in the headline of the Royals are 22-44 in games this year started by Waka, Lugo, or Noah Cameron, who they are hell-bent on bringing into next year to headline the rotation. Make this make sense.
Honestly, I think it's a flawed strategy that the Kansas City Royals believe that they can hang on to Michael Waka, Seth Lugo, and make a run in 2027 without the injuries that they have this year and with a lineup that may or may not be improved next year and try to compete in the AL Central. You know, after I thought about it for a bit, after yesterday's trade deadline, it's kind of like you caught a flat on the side of the road on the interstate and everybody is flying past you and you're just stuck. And you're waiting for the tow truck to come to take you to the station to get your tire fixed. The Royals you had to trade Michael Waka and or Seth Lugo yesterday. You just had to.
Or at least John Schreiber, the expiring contract.
Yeah, but I'm okay if you would have kept Schreiber. You have no bullpen. I know you did. If you couldn't get anything of value, then I understand that. But you have to trade one of your top trade pieces. Everyone in the division made a big move to go past you. And you sat there and you gave up Chris Bubich and Lane Thomas for 2 relief arms. I don't understand it.
And Jaylon, going into this week, I mean, there were those rumblings that this is probably what would happen and that the Royals would be pretty quiet and kind of stay put when it comes to Waka and Lugo. Now that that's kind of come to fruition, how surprised were you that that's what they stuck with? Or did you think that one of them would probably move? Gauge your surprise level with the outcome.
I wasn't surprised. I felt like they were going to keep both. And it's really one of those things, Brady, where you kind of wanted to see them make that move, you know, at least for the fan base, at least to say that we're not the same Royals of 2015 and 16 and 17 and 18, you know, after the championship, right? We want to get back to that mix of being in the playoffs and make sure 2024 does not feel like just a standalone outlier year. And that's what it kind of feels like right now, because you're going in the next season with Michael Waka, Seth Lugo, and Noah Cameron as your starters. We don't even know if Lewin Avila is going to be okay because he has right forearm tightness, right? So if he's down for the rest of this year and if next year, then what do you have starting? Everyone else that you have is hurt and won't be ready to go by spring training. You just traded Chris Bubich away, who's going to be a free agent anyway. He's probably not going to re-sign, even if you're interested in him in spring training. So you have Waka, Lugo, and Noah Cameron. Do you have a starting rotation? You don't have one. And you can't count on those guys. Those are like 2, 3, and 4 in anybody else's rotation, maybe. So what do you do?
I don't know. I don't know what you do. But you don't do nothing. That's what, like, it would be one thing if last year this team was great, everything went well, and you were like, well, we can get back to that. Like, what do they think, based on the last 24 months of baseball that we've seen, what do they think you're coming back to? That's the part that's the part that's maddening. Let alone that we don't know. Like, you have to have the foresight. We don't know when we're playing baseball again after this year. These are already 36 and 37-year-olds. So now you're bringing them back for 2028?
Yeah. It's a world where, like you said, they don't play baseball next year. It's a world that could happen, or they don't play until June or July, and you're relying on those older pitchers that you don't know year to year if they're going to be the same quality. Father Time is undefeated, right? And you know what it really feels like, guys? It just boils down to the Royals probably should. They probably felt like, well, it's either we keep him now and we don't trade him, or maybe look at it again next year. And you can't play that game. You got to trade them while they are at their peak and not when they're not. You know what I'm saying? So I just hope they don't trade them a year too late. They should trade them this year. That's what should happen. Look at the San Diego Padres. The Padres have the weakest farm system in the league. Somehow they went out and they got 2 starters and they fixed their rotation. Why couldn't the Royals do the same?
Jaylon, when it comes to manager Matt Quatraro, where do you get the feeling that he's in lockstep with these decisions by the organization, or do you think he's thinking like what we're thinking? Me like, oh, I wish we could have made some trades.
Yeah, I get the sense that he is in lockstep with whatever the organization says. He'll do, but I also feel like it's not his fault because he can only use what he's given, right? And what he's been given is a team where they believe that in 2027 they can compete, and they better be right. That I just think a lot of people in the fan base probably feel the same way. They better be right that they can compete next year, because the team that I saw against the Rockies in Colorado, that team, I know all the injuries, I get it, but they look defeated. You can't score 8 runs in Colorado. 8 runs in 3 games in Colorado. It's impossible. How does that happen? The Rockies put up 23 runs against the Royals, and they're the worst team in the league. I don't know what the direction this Royals team is going to go in, but they just because Bobby's coming back on Tuesday does not, if I'm a fan, give me excitement that this team's going to turn around, or we're going to celebrate Salvador Perez today. That doesn't give me excitement if I was a fan, because they really told the fan base, we're going to run it back next year. That's exactly what they told him yesterday by not making those moves. Is that worth it?
Is there fear involved in that? Like, do you think look, I don't know if Matt Quatraro's job is on the line. I don't know if JJ Piccolo's job is on the line. I think they both probably should at least be thought about that way. But I don't, whether they are or they aren't, is there any fear involved in not willing to be aggressive to protect jobs?
I don't know. And honestly, we need this is one of those times you want to hear from John Sherman. You want to hear from the owner and be like, what are we doing? Like, because it's his team at the end of the day, and they need to compete. And I'm sorry, I know you have the injuries. I know you have 14 people on the injury list. That happens. You can't control injuries. But as the owner, I would like to hear from John Sherman saying, hey, we got to improve this team, and here's the resources to go do it. And they didn't do that. They did not do that. Out of all the teams that didn't make moves, it was pretty much the Royals and the Brewers. But the Brewers are going to be in the playoffs, so they didn't have to make a move. At least they were thinking about trading for Terry Skubal. The Royals basically said, well, we have Michael Wacha and Seth Lugo. We know people are interested in them. And from what JJ Piccolo said yesterday, he said the offers of getting Wacha and Lugo was kind of overblown, the rumors were. But if people are calling for him, you got to make that move and get something back. I know you don't want prospects. I know you want MLB ready talent, but right now it kind of feels like the Royals are like a 500 team in the NBA.
Right.
You're not good enough to win, and you're not good enough to get a top draft pick. So you're stuck. And that's what it feels like.
Yeah, how's the rest of the season play out? Like, I mean, we saw the energy in Colorado, some of those shots out of the dugout where it just, really kind of were images that was the microcosm of the season, or as far as the feeling and emotions.
Yeah.
Finishing out this season. I mean, where's the enthusiasm level? Like, if you're Quatraro, like, how do you manage these last few months?
With no starters, this team could lose 100 games. I really believe that. And I said this on the show before. I said that if they lose 100 games, that's a disappointment. It's already a disappointing season, but you cannot lose 100 games. That's a bad indictment. And I know Jacob would probably agree with me, Brady.
We've done this before. This is what scares me. Jaylon Thompson, our Royals insider, joining us. We've done this before. We saw ownership in the front office. This cost Tate Moore's job ultimately. Was it 2016 or 17? After they had all their success, that same core group of guys were given the opportunity to take one more chance rather than, capitalizing on the trade deadline and the expiring contracts. And then the Royals get about the 5 or 6 worst years in modern Royals history. Yeah. And it took all of that time to get back to 2024, thanks in large part to Bobby Witt Jr., quite frankly, and Salvador Perez, to get them back. And it feels like we are taking the same path here of not being realistic and it causing tremendous harm to the trajectory of the franchise. And if there isn't some urgency with the Bobby Witt Jr. window, then there should be. And I think that's where it maybe gets a little confusing, Jaylon, because you could make the case, well, there is urgency. They're hanging on to these 2 starters to try again next year. But for 2 years, we've seen that not work.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
Do something different. Like, what's the worst that could happen if you trade Seth Lugo and Michael Wacha? You're one of the worst teams in baseball?
Already are.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Like, if that's the worst case scenario, we're living it. So why wouldn't you do something else?
Man. And Jacob, and here's another thing, Jacob. If you traded 1 or 2 of those guys, you got the money back. You get the $20 million back that you can go spend to go in free agency when everybody is probably going to be at the same starting line trying to fill their rosters with the truncated season if they play next year. There's not going to be let me get the best. Let me wait and see. I'm going to take the best offer and go play, right? You could sign guys to a 1-year deal next year, see if they work out, and then the next 2028, you got a whole bunch of money left, ready to go for whatever the new CBA is going to bring. If it's a salary cap, if it's a non-salary cap, who knows, right? But you kept the same team, and you're the worst team in the league. Unless you feel like when everybody's healthy, we're going to go and be a playoff team, compete in the Central. But I don't know. I don't know if Cole Reyes can start again after a 3rd UCL surgery. I don't know if Ryan Berger and Stephen Kohler are going to look the same again when they come back. That's a lot of question marks that, frankly, the Royals have to answer. And they could have made their decision and made a choice and say, we're trading Michael Wacha and we're going to reset. It could be a soft reset, but like you said, you got to help Bobby Witt Jr. out. You have to. He has 3.5 more years, and he has to decide, do I want to stay or do I want to go?
I mean, Jaylon, does it just feel like the organization is just kind of a stubborn sort of like we're good? We've had this concept the last couple years of how we see this team, and we formed it how we wanted to form it, and we have all these injuries. Mm-hmm. We're going to prove everybody wrong next year. Does it feel like it's kind of more of that? Just kind of more of this like we had this concept and we want to stick with it. We believe it's going to work. It's going to work. We're going to make it work, and we're going to prove everybody wrong, and we're going to run it back. Is that just kind of the mantra? Yeah.
Exactly, Brady. You hit it right on the head. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like you're in a relationship and you know it's not working, you know it's not right, but you're going to keep trying it. You're going to make it work. And sometimes you have to come to the realization that it's just not working. And there's no way that what you saw in 2023, the worst season in this franchise's history, then you go make the greatest jump that you can to make the playoffs. You got to keep going forward. You can't go all the way back to factory settings again. You just can't do that. You got to build on that, because now you've told your fan base, hey, when we're really good, when we have all these young guys playing together as one. Yeah, but they play out of their means. Now they're back to the middle. This is what they are. And it doesn't look good. It's like they skipped too many steps and now they're back to where they should be.
I'm with you. You know what I hate about this is that now I think you're going to see Waka and Lugo get villainized a little bit by the fan base.
Yeah.
And I think that's so dumb and unnecessary. But it's going to happen because literally everybody outside of that office sees the writing on the wall about all of it. Like, it's not working. This isn't going to work. You have all these talented players in the lineup. For whatever reason, it's not working. To change nothing is criminal.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make, like, it's baseball criminal. And now you've got these pitchers who were willing to come to Kansas City, who've done a really nice job, who were willing to sign extensions, who are probably getting villainized because everybody knows they should have been traded when they didn't do anything wrong. They've done everything right. They committed to the organization. It's just not good. That's not a good enough reason.
Yeah, and if you're Michael Waka, you give everything to this organization, and they don't even give you run support. He has the worst run support among any MLB starter this season. They don't help him out offensively. And if you're talking about, why would you want to subject him to just keep pitching and pitching on a team that is not helping him win? Like, send him to a place where he can go win for one of the first times in his career, you know?
Yeah, Jaylon, I don't know, man. I don't know what to do with this. I'm so defeated because I just don't know whenever they do play baseball. You've already got the money committed. That's the other part of this, too.
The money's committed.
Money committed to these guys. Like, nobody they acquired. We haven't even talked about who they acquired because it's like, okay, whatever.
It's two relief arms.
Yeah, they've maybe get some bullpen help next year. But, like, what could a fan look at among all of this and say, oh, yeah, we got hope for next year?
You don't.
I mean, I like the team. I like the team on paper, just like I did this year and just like I did the year before. But it isn't translating.
No, you have to go out and remake your whole bullpen next year. And you have to go out and remake your starting rotation. And you just didn't do that. You didn't go say, you know what, we're going to total reset this whole thing. And, you know, I think fans would have been okay if he would have said, you know what, we're not going to be good next year, but we're going to fix it next year. So if you say 2028, yeah, that's when we're bad. We got all these guys that either are young, controllable arms or whatever. We know 2027 might be a short year because of the lockout, but in 2028, when it's full go again, we are ready. And you didn't do that. You essentially said, well, because we got a team that we believe can, if healthy, can win, we're going to keep our guys. And that's a bad way to look at it, especially when you have guys that are 34, 35, 36, and you're counting on them to be your starters. Like I said earlier, Father Time is undefeated. And what if Waka and Lugo break down next year? Then what?
Lugo did. They did this last year, and Lugo did break down. Jaylon will follow along everywhere. We'll follow you at the KC Star. We'll revisit it again on Friday for our regular visit. Thanks for making a little extra time for us this week.
For sure.
Have fun in your mentions. Have fun talking people off a ledge this week. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Everybody enjoy Salvi today.
That's right. Salvi
There
today.
we go.
Salvi. It's Salvi Day.
Salvi.
There we go.
And
There's
Bobby
a
Witt
positive.
Jr.'s back.
And Bobby's back. There you go.
Appreciate it.
There we go. In on a high note.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
See you guys later.
We'll continue the discussion on the other side. We have some viewer comments. You can chime in, everybody at home. 869-1240 is the number to call. We're coming back on Sports Daily. It's all Brockton Bowman, Jaylon Thompson on the way out. We'll be right back.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-1 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Let's do this thing. Go!
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, here to Sports Daily. Glad to be with you. Thanks to Jaylon Thompson for stopping by. We'll preview an NFL division, kind of get some football talk introduced here to the show as we're making our way toward the football season. We'll take it slowly but surely. Some Chiefs camp news, things like that. We'll get into it and look at it division by division. But let's digest some of the stuff we talked there, Brady, with Jaylon. I don't know what we're supposed to do as Royals observers with this. I don't know how we're supposed to accept and swallow that there were players on expiring contracts that weren't traded.
That's a head scratcher.
Those guys have to be traded. You can call somebody up. The team's already really bad. It's like they're not willing to acknowledge that they're already really bad. You're really bad. You weren't good enough last year. It was a disappointment. This year has been a whole new level of disappointment. And it's not strictly just because injuries have been in play. That's been a part of it. But you're not good enough to win games now the way the team is currently built. Cole Reagans isn't coming to the rescue early next year. Bubic isn't going to be back next year anyway. I understand wanting to have something in these pitchers being controllable. But what are the Royals clinging to with Seth Lugo and his 4.41 ERA this year? Right? Like Waka, okay. You want to make a case for Waka? You think he'll come back and be really good again next year? All right, fine. Is that going to make the difference of your rotation? I don't know. But I'm looking at Seth Lugo, and he's been a starter basically for 4 years. And each of the last two, his ERA has risen. It went from his 2024 wonderful season, it went from 3 to 4.15 last year. This year it's at 4.41. What are you clinging to there? He slots in next year as a good, third or fourth pitcher in the rotation. He hasn't been very good now for almost a full calendar year.
Well, Jacob, and like you mentioned, I mean, what was that stat that you had earlier with Waka and Lugo?
22 and 44. Sam McDowell put that out. They are 22 and 44 in games started by Michael Waka, Seth Lugo, and Noah Cameron.
Yeah.
Those are the three that are leading your rotation next year. Is it all their fault that you're 22 and 44 in those games? Of course it's not.
And the blown saves that we've seen this year.
There's a lot of
leads
reasons
in the ninth. Yeah.
A lot of reasons. But what of those reasons will look different next year? The bullpen, might be worse next year, unless you think Lucas Erceg is going to be able to regain his form, unless you think Carlos Estevez will be able to be good again. I don't know. I mean, Daniel Lynch is a revelation, right? That's good. But are the Royals going to go spend $20 million to re-bolster up their bullpen? Okay. Shut me up this offseason. Do it. But we're not playing baseball next year. By the time we play baseball again, you might be talking about a 38 and 39-year-old in Lugo and Waka.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about when you zoom out and look at it that way. It's like, mercy.
I feel you've got to have more foresight than that.
And I should have asked Jaylon about this, but I feel like as far as how do we deal, because we were kind of talking about that towards the end of that segment with Jaylon. It's like, how do we deal with the rest of this season? What do we really focus on? And it seems like maybe we're going to get back to downtown ballpark discussions.
Yeah,
there's going to be those distractions.
I think that you can focus on Bobby Witt Jr. getting back healthy, a lineup at some point that hopefully features Bobby Witt Jr., Michael Garcia, Carter Jensen, Vinny Pasquantino, Salvador Perez. I think you can, and Nick Lofton has played really well. I think you can have fun with that. Now, it's not going to lead to enough wins now after last week, or that is not on the table anymore. So, but you can have some fun with that. I think looking and getting excited about the core of the team. I suppose they can get some of these guys they traded for called up and you can see what they've got. But I'm telling you, none of these guys are can't miss, must have, highly electric Like, they're guys, and they've been okay. I think probably all of them. At best, you might be looking at somebody you would maybe be able to get as your fifth starter if everything goes well. More reasonable expectation would be, let's say 2 out of these 4 arms acquired at the deadline slot into the bullpen somehow. But that's not moving the needle much. They're obviously not getting Chris Bubich back now. We know Cole Reagans isn't coming back now. Lang's not coming back. So Avila's hurt. Like, there's not much there from a pitching standpoint that's going to give you a lot of hope. So you just can hope the Royals can kind of slug it out a little bit, I guess. And you hope Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen continue to develop. I mean, that's about it. Those 2 guys. That's really about all I can think of.
Yeah, those are the storylines. And like when things get really bad, I guess we can just look at those renderings of the downtown ballpark again for something to look forward to.
If they build it, will they build it come when they're 20 games under 500?
Right.
No. The answer to that is absolutely not. They will not come when they're bad. So you better be good. And you might not have Bobby Witt Jr. in that window. So what does that look like? And there are crazy things that are going to happen this offseason to play baseball next year. I think it feels to me, Brady, like we're getting a line in the sand of baseball of we will have a salary cap, and the players are we will not have a salary cap. And I don't know how you get through that line. But at some point, you probably have to get through that line. Like, I don't know what level of concession is going to have to come from Major League Baseball to get players over that line. But I think it's going to have to happen. It is hard to fathom that the Dodgers and the Pirates exist in the same league. That's like having, Ohio State and Akron in the same conference.
Right.
I don't know how how is that supposed to work? And honestly, it's so wild and crazy, and they've done so many things, but you can keep guaranteed contracts with the salary cap. That's what I've never understood about it. Like, baseball gets fully guaranteed contracts. Fully guaranteed. Do you have to shorten up the arbitration process with the salary cap? Yeah, that's probably a concession baseball is going to have to make moving forward. You can get to free agency quicker if we put in a salary cap. That's a huge concession if baseball does that. I would, if I'm a player, say, well, we must have a salary floor because that means more teams are going to spend more money. Now, does it mean more teams are going to spend more money on only certain specific players, or does that money get spread out? I don't know if I was a voting member of the union, what I would even lean toward. Do we need, the best players making $60 million a year, or do we need more players making $5 million a year? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know how I'd vote on that. What's better for the players? I'm not sure. But a salary floor at least ensures that you have more teams out there spending money than do currently. I mean, there are reports out there that some of these clubs don't even, like, the little amount of their profits they reinvest back into the roster is small. That's a problem. And it's probably an easy concession for the owners to make if they can get a salary cap. Not all the owners are going to like it. I'm not sure John Sherman's going to like it, because whatever the salary cap is going to be a number they haven't sniffed in forever. What would the salary cap number even be? I think it's been thrown out there. 150 million? 160 million?
What I'm looking at, Jacob, a hard salary cap would be set at 245.3 million. The salary floor in this proposal, 171.2 million.
So somewhere between 170 and what was it?
240? 245, yeah.
245. Guess how many teams currently sit over 170?
I'll guess 10.
14. Half the league. The Rangers are at 190. The Angels are at 168. So that's where the number is. They basically took the halfway point. It's pretty clear why they see that. Now, here's where players are going to push back. If the cap is 240, what is better for the players? Because there are 6 teams currently that spend over that cap, right? There are 15 teams that spend under that floor. If we're talking about the total amount of dollars to bring teams up to the floor or bring teams down to the cap, right? Without actually writing it out on paper, I'm going to guess that it's pretty close, but that the number coming up is higher. So to me, that's how you find the simple numbers. How do you get more total money in the pool? So, like, what is the total payroll across baseball right now? That's what I would do. If I'm a player right now, I'm saying, what's the total payroll across baseball? And then I'm saying, okay, whatever that number is, we got to take it up. So find the cap, find the floor, but make the total dollars go up from what it is now. And let's say raise it, I don't know, 10% a year to whichever side of that, 5% to the floor, 5% to the cap. If I'm the players, I'm inclined there because more players are going to get paid. If teams want to allocate more of their cap to specific players, a la the quarterback in the NFL, I think they can for a short amount of time. I think in Major League Baseball, you'll quickly find out that's not the right way to do it. That's not the smart way to do it. So then, like, the star players may not get paid as much. These are all fully guaranteed contracts. What's better for the game? And that's where I think we're going to get to the point where the players are going to be, they're going to be perceived as the bad guys here. You know, you got to have concessions on arbitration and when you can get to free agency and all that stuff. But the players make more and more and more and more and more money every year. Now, the owners make more and more and more and more money every year too, right? But that's not usually the way fans look at that stuff. They look at it as the players keep getting more money and now they're going to hold out because they want more.
Well, especially in baseball, like there's already the public perception that if you were a star athlete that could play any sport, and I've always felt this way too, football is my favorite sport, but if I had the option and the athletic talent to play Major League Baseball, I would go with baseball every single time because of the pay and longevity that you can play. So yeah, I agree with that, Jacob. I think when it comes down to this, when we really start getting into this battle on the salary cap, yeah, I don't think the public's going to be behind the players when we do get to the
nitty-gritty. They usually aren't.
Yeah,
they usually aren't. I don't know that that's going to change. All right, let's go back to the Royals for just a second. We'll get Jesse says, seems like the moves made or not made are maybe Piccolo's last chance. If and when this doesn't work out, there should be a new group in charge of making the decisions. Remember, they fired, the old GM and then promoted from within, basically. They fired Dayton Moore and promoted J.J. Piccolo. There was a time Piccolo, I thought, was doing a hell of a job. Like, getting a Bobby Witt Jr. contract, getting Waka and Lugo out of free agency initially were tremendous accomplishments, in my opinion.
Yeah, remember the feeling of that time.
Well, that was right before 2024 when everything was going well. And then but an unwillingness to pivot off is what cost Dayton Moore's job. Yeah. Like, you have to be willing to look at it objectively and say, yeah, man, that's not working anymore. We got to do something different here. You got to be willing to call Matt Quatraro and say, stop sitting our star player in half the games he plays. I don't know how much time he has left. I have no insight to that, Jesse, but thank you for the comment. We'll come back. We got another hour. We're going to talk a lot of football in the next hour. Get you some updates from Chiefs camp. We'll preview one of the divisions. We'll have some fun in a final third hour of Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app. brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you on this Tuesday. Rocking and rolling, 3 hours live. How's the stamina, Brady?
Oh, I'm in my second full cup of coffee. We're good. We're ready to roll. We got a full day ahead of us, Jacob. It is election day, so there's that.
Yeah, we're both. Are you on the night side beat tonight?
Yep,
I am. So we're changing it up. It is election day, everybody. Don't forget to get out there and vote. On even if you're not affiliated with a party, I am not. You can still. There are things on the ballot this year that apply to you in the primary. So not oftentimes in these primaries, people don't get to vote if they're not party affiliated. But this time there are things, so you can get out there and vote. You got to go to the place you're assigned though to vote today. Don't forget your ID. Brady and I will be covering that for 12 News tonight, all night long. So we will get your results and all those things. I know they'll have coverage here at the Odyssey family on KNSS as well. If you're driving around, lots of different ways, but make sure you're tuned in. Civic Duty Day here in the United States of America and in the state of Kansas. So yeah, good luck with that. We are in our third hour here. Man, I like it. If you're adjusting with us, and we know that's going to be happening over the next couple of weeks as we get ready for football season, your calls welcome now live into even this 10 o'clock hour. We're excited to have it for you. Excited to get you opportunities to tune into the show. You can call us at 869-1240. You can email us at sportsdaily@kfhradio.com. You can leave comments to us on our social media streams, which are coming to you on Facebook, on YouTube, and on X. Thank you for watching us on 12 News Connected as well. Thank you for listening to us on the Odyssey app. And on the Odyssey app, you can hit that little microphone and leave us a voice message. We are all adjusting to the shift. We're glad to do it. It's going to be fantastic once we get another week or two closer to the football season. We got so many great insiders lined up for people. Brady, coming up in the next few weeks. We appreciate Jaylon Thompson and Henry Greenstein for hopping in and unscheduled visits today to keep us in line with what's happening out there in the world of sports. But you can go back and listen to those on the Odyssey app. Everything we're talking about here, we're going to talk some football. We'll get the latest from Chiefs camp, a couple injuries to chat about from Chiefs camp, and then we're going to start previewing divisions here on Sports Daily over the next few days. We'll take you through the NFC South this hour. It's all what's on tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring 3 very limited small batch anniversary beers: Mango Habanero, which is a spicy sour; 15th on 13th, a New Zealand Pilsner; and Black Raspberry Seltzer. WBC celebrating 15 years with 3 new limited time beers. We come back in, Brady. How much of a training camp junkie are you typically?
I mean, probably not where it used to be in my younger days, just because I felt so football starved that I was like, there's training camp, there's action, there's people running around football, their helmets are on, I'm locked in. But now I follow a little bit more than I used to, so there's more to kind of take my attention than back in the day when I was really just football centric. But there's some fun things that happen with training camp still. But like you said the other day, I remember in 2008 when Tom Brady tore his ACL in training camp. Was it training camp? No, it was the Chiefs game, right?
Yeah, it was early in the year. Yeah.
There was a scare, I think, or something like that. But you're always nervous.
It happens all the time. The Panthers lost maybe their best pass rusher. They've lost 2 offensive linemen. The Chiefs have had a couple wide receivers nicked up, dinged up. Like this happens all the time. The update on those guys, by the way, Andy Reid said Cyrus Allen is a bone bruise on the shin. They're going to call him day to day. He said they have to get the swelling down. Ashton Gelati has a hamstring strain, which is never good. And Xavier Worthy has a shoulder sprain. He says a few days, and then, of course, the Andy Reid, we'll see how it goes. But this is what we do, right? This is how this is par the course for training camp. You get excited. I'm watching videos right now of Kenneth Walker trucking people at the line in training camp, and that does get the football juices flowing a little bit. Like, I get it. And then you're like, okay, well, it is training camp. Maybe let's not truck people, Kenneth Walker, so you can truck people in week 1 or week 6. So
is that the video where he got upset at Drew Tranquill? Did you see that?
No, I don't think I saw that one. No, he was fine.
He got a good hit from Tranquill, and he actually seemed a little upset after the hit, and then Tranquill was just kind of like shrugging his shoulders, which to me, from a Chiefs fan perspective, was like, you like to see that. You like to see that from Tranquill.
Listen, we've seen Travis Kelce fight guys. We know it gets tense. I don't know how, by the way, you could sit out there in that heat in pads and practice all day and not get a little tense.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, these are your guys, everybody's friends. Man, I don't care. You put anybody in a hot, sweaty environment like that, and you get people pushing each other around, there's no way to not get fired up about that. And so I'm good with all of it. I have always been in the camp too, because Andy Reid's pretty aggressive, right? He has hard practices. We know he likes to play players in the preseason. I've always believed, and I still do, that doesn't bother me at all, because at some point football players have to play football. If Andy Reid, one of the best who's ever done this, determines this preseason that Kenneth Walker needs a few reps with this offensive line, I'm going to sign off on it. Because at some point, you can't be scared of football players playing football. Now, does that mean we need to see a lot of Patrick Mahomes this preseason? No, it doesn't. I don't think we will. But we might see a little bit, probably because Patrick Mahomes wants to test out the knee right before live ammo. So I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with having an aggressive camp, because with Andy Reid, there is a body of work that shows it pays off. Right? I always get tickled when people are like, oh, the guy's an idiot. How could you play these guys? I'm like, this guy's won more games than just about everybody, and he does things a certain way. Could you imagine questioning the practice regiments and the early season decisions of Nick Saban? No, you're just kind of like, yeah, it's fine. It's what they do. They're really good all the time, so you deal with it. Doesn't mean you're not nervous, though, that guys get hurt. We see it all the time. Of course you are.
They definitely have a proof of concept.
Yeah,
no doubt about that.
Are there unfortunate consequences of it? Sure there are, and there will be. We've already seen it. Now, they've avoided, catastrophe thus far, but we've already had some scares. Mansour Delane hasn't even been on the field, at all. How is that not a storyline? He was out there, I guess, on August 1st, but he's in a yellow jersey. It's really something is going on there with Delane. Andy Reid said at one point a lot of guys aren't going to get there and try to work through what he's working through. There are reports out there, though, that he may not be ready by the opener. So I don't know what's going on there. Because he has practiced. We've seen him out there in the yellow jersey. But now there are reports that he's not going to be ready by week 1. So I don't know. But, man, remember how much pressure we put on the Chiefs for that pick?
It's a big pick.
It's a big pick. He's not in pads. This is yesterday, no pads.
Yeah, I've seen someone an hour ago. Yeah, still wearing that yellow jersey.
So, I mean, he's out there. He's got an injured shoulder. He's out there. So, I guess I don't want to worry about it too much yet, Brady. I do think it's good. The rookie's out there going through it. But this is what I mean. Does he really, if he's got a bad shoulder, does he really need to do it? Our colleague, Carrington Harrison on the Fan 96.5 in Kansas City, asked Nate Taylor, Chiefs reporter for ESPN, that if the Chiefs had a game this week, would Delane be playing? Taylor said no, and he's not even sure the answer changes in a month. So he's practicing, though, and they have a month, thankfully, more than a month before the first game. I don't know where my panic meter is on that. I think it's probably okay at this point. He's out there practicing, so
there's still enough time.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, let's take a look at the NFC South when we come back. We mentioned a big headline from that division in headlines I missed. We'll get into the discussion on the division when we return.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All right, welcome back in here to Sports Daily. Jake Ballbrock, Brady Bowman with you on, what is today? Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Just a friendly little Tuesday. Glad to be with you here. Taking your calls live, 869-1240 is the number to dial. Sports Daily at KFH Radio, the email, or you can always leave us your video comments on Facebook, on YouTube, and on X. Glad to have you with us. We got our guy Tony filling in, it sounds like, for Max. Tony, thanks for stepping through. And Mike, I'm told Mike and Tony. Thanks, guys. Thanks for helping us here. As we make this transition, 3 live hours now, the new era of Sports Daily, and it is going to be awesome. We're excited about it. We'll still get TJ in here from time to time, but it's Brady and I in most days and cases now, and we think we're going to have a lot of fun. Let's go, Brady. We said we'd do this yesterday, so let's hold ourselves to it. We're going to kind of take this division by division in the NFL. Now, I don't know how locked in everybody is in the offseason. We're both pretty big NFL junkies, pretty big NFL fans. I think, it's coming up on fantasy football season.
Yes.
Like we're in it, all of those things, like, you get crisp air, you cook a bunch of food, like that time of year's coming back. So these appetizers are good. Now, when we look at these NFL divisions, we know how wacky and crazy things can be, how injuries play a part. So we're going to kind of just take this division by division. And then as we make our way to the beginning of the season, once we get through that, we'll make some predictions. We will predict playoff teams. We'll predict all the way through the Super Bowl. And I think, Brady, by then, because we've got basically 2 weeks of these sorts of previews, if we take about a division a day, and then we can get it, so 2.5, maybe by the end of the 3rd week of August, we've got Super Bowl predictions. I think that's pretty fair for us to have a good grasp on things. Because I'll tell you, honestly, on August 4th, I don't know if I could give you an honest Super Bowl prediction yet.
No.
I don't think I can. Most years, I have a pretty good idea, like right now, who I would put in the Super Bowl. Not this year. There's a lot of variables and a lot of things we got to see sort themselves out. So we go into the NFC South. Now, we'll revisit, Brady, what was the news? We're starting with the NFC South because we got a pretty good chunk of news out of the NFC South. I must have been late yesterday. What is the news there?
Bijan Robinson is now he's getting a big payday. Just announced that I just had that page open, but I believe it puts him on track to be the highest paid running back in NFL history, and 3-year extension.
Probably should be too. Like I've got you. That seems fair to me. Yeah. If you're going to reset the market, I think Bijan Robinson's the guy to do it with. Fair. You like the signing?
$75 million and 3-year contract extension. Now, this was surprising to me. The guaranteed money, $51 million. That's actually not first right now. It's actually Jeremiah Love has $53 million guaranteed in his contract. So he's just below.
He's slotted in through the draft.
Yeah.
That's really funny. That's why some people wondered about Jeremiah Love going super early, is because, that you're guaranteeing a big running back contract. Now, running backs are not as throwaway as people liked to try to make them 4 or 5 years ago. I always like the NFL is such a trendy league. I love it so much. There wasn't that long ago that everyone, running backs are dead. They're not that important. Like,
it's
really?
a thing of the past. Yeah.
Really? Did you watch the Super Bowl last year?
Right.
Because I don't think that's the case. So we go to this division, and another reason to start with this division is because it was collectively the league's worst last year. Nobody finished above 500. The Panthers, the Bucks, the Falcons all finished at 8-9. We know the Panthers got into the postseason, won the tiebreakers. The Saints finished 6-11. Pretty wholesale changes for the Falcons. New coach. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be. I would assume that it's Tua Tagovailoa. The Buccaneers are in a contract dispute right now with Baker Mayfield. Don't know where that's going to go. The Panthers have already had a flurry of injuries as they had a lot of momentum. Now, the Panthers have spent some money. They bolstered the defense. They're trying to help the line. It's all being tested already before we've really done much. And then the Saints, Kellen Moore, or do you believe in Tyler Shuck? Some people, Brady, think he's a sneaky fantasy player this year. They add Jordan Tyson. Chris Olave just got a big extension. Their star wide receiver. They bring in, I guess we're supposed to call him Achane now, the running back out of Jacksonville. That must have been clarified. That would have been a headline I missed, Brady. Etienne, I guess it's also Achane. So now we have two Achanes because we have Devon Achane spelled totally different. But either way, that is the player formerly of Jacksonville that we're talking about, Etienne. Now I think maybe Achane, whatever. So they've added some pieces too. I look at this division. Mike Evans isn't with the Bucs anymore.
Which, that's so weird.
They got a contract dispute there with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, what's Tampa doing with their best players on the offensive side of the ball? Like, why they're having disputes with them and get rid of Evans, who I've always felt Evans is probably one of the most underrated wide receivers in NFL history.
He could be a sneaky good addition to San Francisco.
Yeah, look out there.
We're not talking NFC West yet, Brady, but San Francisco just added Debo, Mike Evans, and if Ricky Pearsall's healthy, they'll get George Kittle back from injury. If they listen, they're next to the power station or whatever. But if they stayed healthy on that offense, look out. But so anyway, the Bucs have that issue. I would have loved to take the Panthers here as a team to get better. The Buccaneers still have some firepower, and I like Baker Mayfield. I think he's good. But I got to be honest. The Falcons are the team that's the most interesting to me. As a team that could jump out and do something, they're the one that could jump up the most. Oh, and I missed this news headline. Rick points this out. I did not see this. Ricky Pearsall's out for the season. Holy smokes. That must have led to the Debo signing. I missed that part of that. Thank you, Rick. That's a bummer, man. I feel like he's going to be a good player. Anyway,
yeah, he had such a good story too.
Yeah, thank you, Rick. The Falcons are the team. I think Kevin Stefanski's probably a pretty good head coach. Cleveland's a hard place to navigate in kind of a weird situation, but he's had success at this level. So I think that's probably a fine move. Man, if they can get, even if it's Tua, if they can get Tua to be healthy. Penix didn't have the ravest reviews, but if they can get Tua to be healthy for them, Bijan, Drake London, Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
They've got some ammo offensively.
Remember how good Tua was with Miami when everything was clicking? With Tyreek when he first got there. That was one of the top offenses.
He's the point guard in the true sense, right? You just have to distribute that ball out to your playmakers. So I think they probably have the highest ceiling. I don't think their floor is as high as, let's say, the Buccaneers. The Panthers are really interesting. If the Panthers didn't have these injuries in preseason, I think they're the safe pick to go back and win the division again. They might be getting Jonathan Brooks back. We'll see. The running back, remember, they selected high despite a bunch of injuries, and he has been nothing but injured since he's been in the league. I love Tet McMillan. I'm on the fence with Bryce Young. Bryce Young feels to me like Brady, that, that path that we've seen others take, that path that maybe the Vikings hope is going to happen with Kyler Murray, but we saw it happen with Baker Mayfield, right? We saw it happen with Sam Darnold. We've seen it happen with Kirk Cousins, where guys just kind of get a second chance somewhere. Daniel Jones. It's happened a lot lately, right? We've seen it quite a bit. Could we see that with Bryce Young, even though he doesn't have to change teams, but a bit of a late bloomer? He's flashed at times. Have they done enough? They actually have a decent group of pass catchers now. Jalen Coker was pretty good. They still have Xavier Legette, who they took, I think, in the first round or the second round a while back. So they've got some talented guys there now. They've got depth in the backfield. They let Rico Dowdle walk, so they feel pretty good about what I think they'd be the safe bet. And then they went and they did a whole bunch of stuff to try to make their defense better. But now they have these injuries. I think they're down 2 tackles right now. I think they're down to their third string tackle. Now, they brought in and signed guys for depth, so that's good. But you're down 2 tackles already and your leading pass rusher? And he tore his ACL, so he ain't coming back. I think that's a tough one to overcome. There is not a team in this division, Brady, that I would be stunned if they won it.
Yeah,
Do you think any of these teams are obviously worse than the others?
No. I mean, when we look back at last year, and you kind of went over those records, 3 teams tying 8-9, and then let's see, the Saints were 6-11. They kind of had, if I remember right, Saints won like 5 of their last 6 games, and Chuck played pretty well. But in the point differential, all teams were in the red last year. The best point differential was the Buccaneers at -31. Yep. Panthers were -69, Falcons -48, Saints -77. The only division in the league last year where every team was in the red and differential. But, going back to the Panthers and Bryce Young, I got to say, Bryce Young showed me a lot last year. I mean, he was benched. It looked like he was done. It looked like all the naysayers were right. He's too small. He's just not going to make it. I think we've seen the last of Bryce Young. Then he comes back, and the way he handled that whole situation showed a lot of maturity and leadership. And when he came back and started dealing, like, it was like, oh, we've seen him kind of coming of age, if you will, and taking that leadership role. So I'm sold on Bryce Young because of how he dealt with that adversity last year. He could have easily given up.
How though? Sold how? Like, you think he's going to be a starter there for the next 10 years?
Well, I mean, can you say that about anybody, really? Outside?
Not considering injury, sure you can. How about the next 5 years? Like, yes, I look around the league, and the quarterback situation, in Philadelphia and Dallas and Washington and Chicago. I'm just going down a list here: Chicago, Green Bay, Detroit. We don't know what Tampa's doing with their contract here, but Seattle. The 49ers, like, there's a lot of teams that don't have a quarterback question. Are we ready to say the Panthers don't have a quarterback question with Bryce Young?
I think for this year, I don't think there's a question for this year. I mean, we'll see how this season goes.
So if it's not beyond this year, though, I think that's a question. I think that qualifies as if you're not confident Bryce Young's going to be the quarterback of this team after this year, I'd say you still have a quarterback question.
I think they're a little more confident they were last year, for sure. Because, I mean, again, he was benched.
I agree.
He was done, and he came back. He ended up throwing more touchdown passes than Mahomes last year, 23-22.
He's got a tremendous opportunity. Mahomes missed a bunch of games, but he's got a tremendous opportunity this year to go make a ton of money. I mean, he does. I think he could be a starter for his team for the next 5, 6, 7 years, for sure. I also think they could be ready to move on after this year. Like, there aren't very many players in the league with more to prove than Bryce Young has this year. I don't think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, he has a lot to prove, for sure. But yeah, Young played 16 games last year. Mahomes played 14. So just a difference of 2 games. Young was 23 touchdowns, just 11 interceptions. So good ratio there, over 3,000 yards.
I thought he was pretty good last year too. And I think he can run a little bit more than he probably does. So I'm there with you. I don't know about Tyler Shuck, but I know the Saints probably got more talented, probably got a little bit better. This was the worst division in football. Yeah, I think I think there's a world where at least 3 out of the 4 teams got better. Did the Buccaneers, though, get better? I do think they have the highest floor because they have the best quarterback, but who's in a contract dispute, though. But I don't know that I would look at the Buccaneers and say, yeah, they got better.
Right. On paper, you would look at this and think like, oh, that's the easy choice to say who's going to win it NFC South this year. You go with the Bucs. But with all the turmoil and things going on with Baker and the organization, and honestly, I've never been that big of a Todd Bowles guy. I like personally, I think he's a great guy. I've heard that about him, that he's just a guy you want to play for, has a great reputation. But the results wise, I mean, even Tom Brady's last year and that year before at Tampa, I kind of looked at, I mean, he was best with Bruce Arians, and Todd Bowles came in, and I just thought at times there were some game time decisions that I think kind of lost the game for him and some crucial points. So I as a coach, as a head coach at least, I've never been that big of a Todd Bowles guy as far as the results. So
which is crazy, right? Because he won the division the first 3 years he was at Tampa. Finished second last year. But then you dig in a little bit, and I agree with you. Well, they're 2 games over 500 in those.
Right, yeah, that's
he's basically been a 500 coach.
You won 10 games in that
played
division.
in such a crap division.
Yes,
that it's like, okay. So I'm with you. I'm not sold on any of these teams. I don't know. I'm having a hard time making a case that the Buccaneers got better this offseason. I think there's a world where the Panthers, Falcons, and Saints all did, but I don't know if it's enough to overtake the Buccaneers. So if I'm picking a division winner now, I'm probably going to take a leap of faith with the Falcons a little bit and just think they can get enough out of their quarterback to take advantage of some tremendous weapons there. But I think we're probably also looking at another year where maybe all 4 of these teams are kind of floating around 500 a little bit.
Yeah, each team has giant question marks. Each team, has some issues to where, like, on paper, there's some things where it's like, oh, they could break away, but each team has a big enough question mark to say, well, that could derail them.
Did the Saints get, let's say, 3 games better, which seems really optimistic to me?
If they did, that wins the division.
If they did, they'd be 9. If they did, they'd be 9-8. Right? Yeah. Like, so I that's where it gets hard. I think you can look at any of them, and at the end of this season, if any of them are your division champion, there will be zero surprise for me. You can make a case for any of them, and it's not even that hard. And that's not the case in every division in football. Like, you're going to have a hard time making a case for me that the Cardinals are winning their division, or over in the AFC, the Jets, the Dolphins, the Browns. Like, they're teams that we can write off in this league. I don't think you can really for any of these teams, but you also don't have confidence in any of them either. So it's a weird division to start with because there's no clarity there. But that's it does. There's a year here in the NFL where it does feel kind of that way, right? Like, there's a lot of teams with a puncher's chance at this thing.
Well, it's whoever you think's going to win the NFC South. You're not saying they're going to make a big playoff run.
No, I don't think any of these teams are. I will confidently say none of these teams are winning the Super Bowl this year. No, I am confident in that. Let's talk Chiefs. We'll get to the latest from camp yesterday when we return on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, Stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you. Jacob Albrock, Brady Bowman on this Tuesday. And we are, we're making our way through the final live hour as we are now going 8 to 11. The change, if you missed it, is now in place. 8 to 11, 3 live hours, and it makes it more interactive for you, the listeners, and we're happy and excited about it. 869-1240 is the number to call. Okay. Brady, let's real quick before we dig into some Chiefs notes from yesterday at camp. The Save College Sports Act. Here's what Ross Dellinger, Yahoo has followed this so well, is reporting this morning. The earliest likely day for Senate Majority Leader John Thune to start the process, which is that cloture vote, is Thursday. which would mean they could have a full vote by Saturday. But he points out the odds are still slim and that lawmakers would have to both waive time constraints and senators must agree to work the weekend.
Uh-oh. Like I said yesterday, I was thinking 40-60 on this passing.
Yeah, well, I'm still gonna
or getting a vote, I should say.
I think everyone will want the political win, so I think they're gonna cram it through. But we'll see. It is certainly not a done deal. It does sound like the votes are there. It's just, can they get it to a vote? Which again is so stupid to me.
Yes.
Like it's 2026. Can't we just like take a vote? Be like, listen, yay or nay? You guys in on this or not? Cool.
I said a few weeks ago or whenever it was, that's what frustrates me the most about Congress is not just this issue, but there's several issues where there's huge bipartisan and public support, and it's like we can't even just get a vote. Let's just get a vote.
Let's just vote on it. Like imagine any of us in the private sector living our professional lives that way. All right, guys, we have a critical decision that we need to make for the company here. So here's the issue at play. Rather than just see if everybody thinks this is the right solution, what we're going to do is we're going to have a procedure. Now, here's how that procedure works. We got to get everybody in agreement that we can vote on it, and nobody can stall now. Like, don't go stalling on us. We got to get everybody together. We got to decide if we can vote, and then we have to pick a time to vote. In the time it takes us to decide if we should vote, they could already vote. Say, hey, guys, here's the bill.
Exactly.
Everybody had a chance to read it. Could you read this tonight? Great. Let's take a quick vote in the morning. It'll take 5 minutes. Yay or nay? No? All right. Well, we're going to have to table this and bring it back later. We can't have those nice things because the government doesn't work like the private sector. They got all the time in the world, Brady. All the time in the world.
Got that recess coming up.
It ain't their money, right?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. So that's the quick update there. Let's talk Chiefs here. Brady, yesterday, there were some interesting things. We mentioned the Mansour Delane thing. They're not going to give us much on that yet. I did notice too, and it was asked yesterday, Patrick Mahomes looked like he didn't have the same kind of like robot brace on his knee. Andy Reid was asked about that. He said he has a brace on. He's got to keep it on throughout. And then he was asked, is it the same brace? And he said, I don't know. It was a brace. I'm not looking at the brace. So Andy Reid didn't want to answer that question. But probably a good sign, wouldn't you say? If they've downsized the hardware on Patrick Mahomes' leg, that's got to be a pretty good sign. A couple other really, I think, interesting things. We get the update. Xavier Worthy. Is it day-to-day? Andy Reid then clarified day-to-day. We'll see where it goes. This was a funny exchange. I believe it was Nate Taylor asking about how often Mahomes is going under center. And then Andy Reid gives a cookie-cutter answer of, we'll mix it up. We'll do lots of things. We want to do good things. And he tried to follow that up and ask, okay, does that mean more play action? And here's Reid's answer to that. Nate, you want to know if it adds more runs and play action. Listen, we're going to mix it up. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to change that part. All right, Andy, fine. You don't want to reveal your hand. Fine. That one's clearly one he's sick of talking about. It's funny. All right. A couple other things. I thought Trey Smith talking about Peter Woods was interesting. The Peter Woods buzz, Brady, the Peter Woods buzz is getting pretty high. And I think that's a really promising sign for the Chiefs defense. If they can get big time pass rush from both Chris Jones and Peter Woods up the middle, we know, like, game wrecking interior defensive line play is a secret weapon in the NFL, it feels like to me.
Yeah, it's becoming like I feel like it's just becoming just as important as like good quarterback play anymore. It's like that; those are becoming like really big spots on the roster for NFL teams, and that's how you disrupt things, and that's what Spags has always done best. I mean, going back to his times with the Giants with Jason Pierre-Paul, and he was those lines, those giant lines. I mean, those are big reasons why they upset the Patriots in the Super Bowl, is because of that type of play.
Biggest reason the Seahawks just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Seahawks have like 7 of them, right? Like, and they just rotate them in like crazy. We've seen it was the Achilles heel of Tom Brady. It was the Achilles heel of Patrick Mahomes in a couple of bad Super Bowl games. If you can get that pass rush, as we have, Mansour Delane in no contact jerseys, as we have all these question marks in the secondary, if Peter Woods, because if you've got Jones and Woods bringing that kind of heat up the middle, Chris Jones, who's always double or triple teamed, you can't do that anymore. So it frees him up a little bit, but it's got to help the edge rushers who, even if they are a little less talented than some teams, now it does create some opportunities though. I think one of the most critical and like, if you're talking about the Chiefs floor versus the Chiefs ceiling, I've said this before. I think the defense isn't getting enough run for like deciding whether or not they're elite, like Super Bowl contender, or just probably pretty good, right? If you can add pass rush to the repertoire of the Chiefs, like if they have let's call it a very good to elite pass rush, I think this team has a great chance to win a Super Bowl. Great chance. Might be the biggest differentiator in my thought on the Chiefs of anything else, because I don't really have they're going to run the ball more, right? Like, I don't think that's a question. They're going to. Are they going to have a much better pass rush? I think that's very much a question. But Peter Woods is a big part of the reason I think they could.
And without Trent McDuffie anymore, I mean, what better way to help the secondary than increase your pass rush?
Totally. Right? Like, Mansour Delane's still in non-contact. Whether he's going to be ready for week 1 or not, he's non-contact right now. I mean, that is a shaky part of this roster. Even as much as they've invested in, they brought Snead back, they've done some of these things, like there are a lot of new starters in the secondary. That's a huge question mark. If you can get a pass rush, though, it's going to help that. It's also going to help wreck games and give you a chance. I think it is. I mean, I think it's the biggest differentiator in how good the Chiefs are. If you can tell me they're going to have a very good to elite pass rush, I will absolutely call them a Super Bowl contender. If you tell me it's going to be pedestrian as it has been in years past, I have a lot of questions about it, because now we're leaning on a young and brand new secondary. And I don't think we know the answer to that yet. I don't think anybody does. I don't think anybody will until probably about week 8, whether or not this secondary can step up and make this a great defense again. But they got a great pass rush, Brady. We'll know that right away.
And how much could that help Felix? FAU, Kansas State pick first round. That
I think it helps really Karlaftis. I think it helps all of them. That's what, it's copycat league. And they also drafted R. Mason Thomas, and they've drafted these other defensive linemen too. Like, the Seahawks' strength, I have talked to people in Seattle about this, people that follow that team, because Seattle, to me, was one of these teams that was kind of hard to predict. I remember talking to my old colleague here, Ariel Arsudo, about I had a hard time with the Seahawks. She was like, well, I don't know what else they need to do. And one of the things she pointed to was how explosive, talented, and deep they were on the defensive line. They haven't gotten enough credit for how well they've drafted lately. And because it's mostly rotational players on the defensive line that are making such an impact.
Yeah, and they're always fresh.
They don't have TJ Watt out there. Right. But they've got 6 or 7 guys that can kill you. Squint your eyes at the Chiefs, and you could be like, okay, well, they do kind of have 2 potentially elite defensive tackles and a bunch of okay defensive ends. Maybe that can rotate through, keep everybody fresh, and give them a chance to be special at that area. I think but Peter Woods he's the key. He's the linchpin. We know Chris Jones is good. If Peter Woods is also good, who's been really good at practice by every account, by everybody's eyeballs that are there reporting on it, plus what the team and coaches are saying, it's a positive sign for the Kansas City Chiefs and their Super Bowl chances.
And you go back to the offensive side of the ball with Kenneth Walker. A big problem last year for the Chiefs defense was that they were on the field a lot.
Yeah.
There was turnovers, a lot of 3-and-outs in those situations. So if you can get Kenneth Walker going, have sustained offensive drives, give the defense a little bit of a rest, especially last year with the kind of an aging defense, that really hurt the Kansas City Chiefs defense last year, the offense having the struggles it had. So you can shore that up a little bit, give them a little more rest. That'll be a big difference this year as well.
Hand in hand, right?
Yep.
Defense and run game. They've got
complementary football.
They've got to work together. It's one of those things where, like, when we look at Mahomes, we look at the pass game, like, I expect this isn't going to be that year where Mahomes is blowing us away statistically. I don't think the Chiefs want that. Like, that's not the plan. No matter what Andy Reid will or won't say in practice about it, like, they went and spent a ton of money on Ken Walker. They have, over the last 2 or 3 years, spent and invested a ton of draft capital on the offensive line. They, by most grading systems, have some of the best run blockers in football. Time to take advantage of that. Oh, and by the way, Mahomes has blew out his ACL last year. Time to take advantage of that.
Right.
And I think that they will. But the defense, if you can't do it if you don't have the defense, as we've mentioned, lots on this show. Cyrus Allen, we get confirmation from Andy Reid yesterday. Swelling. They call him day to day. They don't appear to be particularly worried about that one. So hopefully the Chiefs have avoided the biggest injury scares thus far in training camp. Day 2 of their pads goes today. We'll have reaction to that tomorrow. That's it for us. Brady, let's do it again tomorrow.
Do it again right here.
We will follow along. We'll preview another NFL division. We'll have some fun with you. It is Sports Daily. Thanks for being here, everybody, with us. Thanks to Jaylon Thompson, our Royals insider, Henry Greenstein.
Story behind Kansas athletics without the fluff. Go straight to the who covers it.
See you later, everybody.
Every day. Join Sports Daily every Wednesday.